Well, that's not supposed to happen. Guess she's a little thirsty today. Alright folks, so welcome to another episode of Henderson Equipment. Today we got this real nice Husqvarna push mower, and well, it's leaking gasoline out of the carburetor. So what has happened in this case is the float on the carburetor got stuck. I bought this mower at an auction, didn't know nothing about it. I put gas in it, and it just started coming right out of the air cleaner. So the float is stuck open, and I'm sure this happens to a number of people, especially after, we're coming up in the spring, and, you might find yourself soaking with gas and wondering why it's not running or not running right. So I'm going to show you guys how to take the carburetor off this Husqvarna. This is a Husqvarna. I don't know what it's badged, but the sticker says an LC221A, so it's a 21-inch push mower Husqvarna. It's actually a nice unit. It's an all-wheel drive Husqvarna. I didn't know they made all-wheel drive. They made push mowers that were front wheel and rear wheel, but this is all-wheel drive. So this is, and it's got a little hose hookup to clean the decks. This is a pretty little unit. Let me turn the light back on. But so, like I said, this is a nice, cute little unit. It's in good shape. I think this is an aluminum deck. So this was probably an expensive push mower. It's probably like a $500 push mower, brand new. But I got a great deal at it at an auction, and I'm going to doll it up, fix it, make sure she's running right, and hopefully we get $200 for her. So I got a couple tools lined out here that I think it's going to be. You're going to need either a ratchet wrench with definitely an 8mm, I think, some needle nose, pry bar, and a 6-in-1. So anyway, let's dive into it instead of wasting time. Let's zoom and make sure the camera is here so you're seeing everything I'm doing. The one thing that sucks on a lot of these new push mowers is they don't put fuel shutoffs. So I got these little, you could use needle nose or channel locks or whatever, but you're going to need to stop fuel, otherwise you're going to, you're going to empty the tank and gas is going to go everywhere. So I got these little clamp off pliers here, and I think they're used for any hose applications. So I'm going to take the air box cleaner off first. The other thing, when I took this off, there was no air cleaner in there, and so we're going to have to get an air cleaner for it. Look at that. So it's got two different sizes. Alright, so now I'm starting to get worried because I'm thinking somebody's, messed with this thing already. So I grabbed an 8. Let's see if this is a 7. I got a 7. Yeah, those are two different ones. So somebody's already messed with this thing. Alright, what else we got here? Oh, looks like we got one there. I'm wearing my, I call it my farm shirt, but someone said I look like a stripper in this outfit, but if that's true, you ain't paying enough for strippers. Sorry about that. It's my mom's birthday today. She turns 39 for the past 10 years. So yeah, you gotta answer because, Mom's calling. Alright, so we took that bolt off, so there's 3 hard bolts. What else? Something else is holding this thing in. Is there anything holding this thing in? Something's gotta be. Looks like we got another bolt. Another 7. Maybe it's supposed to be like this. Why would you mix 2 different size hardware? Yeah, so I got 2 7s. Those are the same. Maybe this must be right. I got 2 7s and 2 6s. Odd, but whatever. And no air cleaner. So we got to get an air cleaner for this thing. Alright, so let's see. How is this thing fastened to the head? Oh, it's not. This thing isn't even fastened, so it has this steel bracket here. I guess, yeah, you just pry this thing off. Look at that. Pry it off, and then you're free. Alright, so we're going to take the fuel line off. Okay. A little wiggle. So I'm going to angle the carb so I can take, yeah, it looks like the choke rod. The choke rod's out. And then, man, she don't want to come. Alright, there we go. And let's bend this again so we get the throttle. Alright, and I'm just doing a little wiggle here. Get these rods out. Alright, so you're going to have fuel coming out of the thing. We'll stop here. Okay, so here's your carburetor. These new carburetors, man, the whole thing is plastic. The entire thing. Alright, so anyway, we got to get to the bottom of the bowl and see why she's sticking. So let me make sure we're angled here so you can see. Okay. So it's draining the gas out naturally, but what are you going to do? Where's on the bottom? We got a 7 on the bottom. Geez, so you got 2 7 mils and 2 8 mils. Actually, 4 7 mils, 2 8 mils. Now I'm using my electric ratchet. You don't have to do that. Okay. So you got those 2 bolts. So let's pop this sucker open. Get my handy pry bar here. We're gonna pry her open. There she be. Nice O-ring. Okay. Yeah, this whole thing's plastic. Float's plastic. Back in the day, the floats were like bronze and or I think it's either brass or bronze, and then the carburetor was like a steel. So anyway, so let's put that aside. I'm gonna put all the components in here because this is clean. Hey, what the hell's going on here? Oh. What the fuck? So the float is supposed to be snapped in here. It wasn't even snapped in. So where's the needle valve? There she is. The needle valve is sitting in there. Alright, so again, this was an auction item, so you never really know what the hell you get. So the question is, why was the needle valve just sitting in the bottom there? Somebody must have had this apart. Maybe a kid had it apart and didn't know what he was doing. I don't know. All right, anyway, so the needle valve sits right in here. So your fuel goes in here. The needle valve sits there. When that's closed, no fuel's going in. When it opens, fuel goes in. I mean, it's really straightforward. Now, okay. Everything looks clean. I'm actually not even going to clean this thing. Well, you know what? What the hell? Let's just spray a little bit of juju in there, huh? Now, for all those politically correct people, when I say juju, I mean my spray. I don't mean anything wrong by it. Crazy people. Alright. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to spray the shit out of this, spray it in here, spray inside the throttle, and go from there. Good carb cleaner, spray the piss out of it. I love using gum cutter, 2+2. I'm not sponsored, don't think that. I don't have enough viewers for anybody to want to sponsor me, but I love this stuff. Alright, I carry this stuff in my boat. This stuff is good. It's a 2+2 because it's a carb cleaner, but it's a lubricant, and it's more flammable than basic carb cleaner. Alright, I love using this stuff. It's very good. You shouldn't pay more than $4 a can. Some people will charge $13 a can. Screw them. Another thing gum cutter's good for is your calluses. Cleans the shit out of them. Alright. So, what I'm going to do is let's put this sucker back together. Alright, so I'm really curious to see what the hell's going on here. So, put your little, I don't know what you call it, your hinge maybe? Anyway, so on your bottom of your float here, you got this little channel that she sits in. So we're going to flip her upside down. All carburetors are like this. And we're going to drop this, right? You're going to drop it in here. Now these little hinges, I don't know if you can see, but this has to like snap in. Almost like it's like broken. Maybe that's why it fell out. Hold on. I need to just get up. I am not your not your ideal YouTuber, because I'm showing you the real deal, what happens in real life here, is you drop things 10 million times. Alright. Let's put our little rod back in there. Now I'm going to try to press this thing in, because I think it needs to snap in, if I had to guess. Alright, so she's in the hole. Okay, so I got her in this channel. I'm going to push it in. Oh, look, see, did you hear that? There you go. Yeah, she snaps right in. You know, the float moves freely, so carburetor sits like this, so when it's down, it's sucking fuel, and then it shuts it off. So I got a bunch of shit in here. I'm going to spray out with my juju, and then we'll put her back together. Alright. Isn't it magic? Alright, so let's put this back together. So some carburetors, some bowls are oriented in a certain fashion, so that way you don't screw something up. And this one is the same too. So you got this bottom cave here, whatever you want to call it, this channel. You're going to want to line it up with this. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So let's fasten her back in. Put the bowl back in. And you don't have to go crazy tight, because remember, this isn't plastic, so you go too tight and you'll break the damn thing. Alright. It's got an O-ring here. This looks good. An old gasket here. This looks good. Alright. So now, probably the hardest part of the whole job is getting these damn rods back in here. Alright, so let's do this bottom one first. Alright, let's use my needle nose to pull it out. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do this one first. You know what? Hold on. Let me adjust the camera. That way everybody can see what the hell I'm doing. Alright, let's put this thing in here. Okay. So that's that. And then we also got this rod, which goes in here. There we go. And she's in. Okay. Alright. So we gotta push it back in because it was pressed in. Okay. Now she's in there good. You see all the shit in there? We're just gonna clean that out real quick too. Now, a normal carb cleaner like dries it out real quick, but like I said, this stuff is awesome. I mean, it's like a lubricant. It's really slick stuff. All right, so you got this little breather here for your crankcase, which goes in here. So you got to line that up, and then it looks like the whole thing just presses on. So actually, before I do that, let's put this fuel line on. All right, fuel line's on. And what we can do is we can do a quick little PMOT. PMOT stands for Post-Maintenance Operability Test. So before it was running out of the carburetor, so I'm just going to undo my clamp here. I'm going to let the hose, let her fill freely. Fill up with gas, and let me just make sure there's gas in it before I light it. Yeah, there's plenty of gas. So anyway, carburetor's filling up right now. She's not leaking, so we're already improved. Let's see if I can figure out what the hell I'm doing here. Yeah, so this port's got to go up. You should get the shit off it. Alright. And there's little guides here. How fancy. So you need a third finger to fish that thing up. Fish her up. There we go. I don't like how the breather's on. It's like kind of cheap. This crank tube is like a pain in the ass. There we go. Okay. Pre-press that crank tube on and then you're ready to rock. Alright, now let's put my 14 different size screws in here. If I can remember. Yep. So we're gonna, you know, we got our 7 bit on, so let's do our 7 first. Okay. 7. Okay. Let's put the 8 bit on. Fat finger disorder, it is real. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to safely dump my excess fuel in a compliant container. Alright, now that that's compliant, I'm going to open up the garage door and we're going to try to run this thing. Alright. See if she starts. Can't say I'm not bullshitting you in the videos. Well, I call that a wrap. So, took a couple pulls, and she didn't really like starting too much, but I think that's pretty much because there's no air cleaner on it. So, and these things are like self-chokers anymore, so they get sucking too much air, so it was a rough start. But anyway, we'll get an air cleaner in it and then call it a day. So, if you guys got a stuck float, that's how you do it. So, say goodbye to your cheap stripper.